Ladies and gentlemen, presenting Princess Nuriamo from the ghetto of Spain.
Hello, my name is Nuria and this is my sewing journey. Today I finally got the confidence to start editing a video. I started 6 months ago and I think it's time for me to start this YouTube journey. I don't know how it's gonna go, but at least I'm gonna have some fun. 6 months ago I was invited to a wedding and I didn't want to spend a lot of money with the dress and I decided to make it myself. It was gonna be a big challenge because I had a great idea in mind, but I had never done anything like that. Normally when I would make something, I would buy the pattern from Etsy or I would buy a magazine and I would take it from there. But this time I wanted to challenge myself and I decided to make everything from scratch. Today is 6 months later, so I'm gonna try and put you into the situation I was back then. I bought this fabric 4 years ago. I was living in a little teeny tiny little town near Liverpool, and on the weekends I had nothing to do, so I would go from fabric store to see what I could find and what I could do. And I found this viscose. I think it's viscose, I don't know, because back then I didn't know much. Not that I know much now, but that's another story. I really loved it. I love pink and I love blue, so it was the perfect fabric. I didn't have a project to do back then, so I just bought it and I brought it back with me to Spain, and then when I went to live to the Netherlands I brought it with me also. I was invited to this wedding and I had only 3 weeks to make this dress, and why not? I decided to go for the most difficult type of pattern ever. It was a Mediterranean type wedding, so they wanted us to wear either white or linen, but I live in the Netherlands and I did not have time at all to tan. So I could definitely not wear white. There was no way. As I said, I had a clear idea of what I wanted. I wanted a corset on the top and then I wanted a skirt on the bottom, but I didn't want to do a lot of gathering because I'm not good at it. I've tried before and I'm really bad at it. So I decided that I wanted to do something simple, and this is what I went for. I started with the top part. I followed a YouTube video for my first pattern. It ended up not being the best video. I don't know if I took the measurements wrong or what I did, but my boobs looked like they were 2 bananas and I didn't quite like it. Don't ask me why. So I decided to go for a second prototype. For this prototype, I bought a book. It turned out also not the best book ever. I tried following the pattern, but I don't know why. The measurements were weird and it was very broad what they were explaining. So it was more about the idea of how lingerie was created and not how to draft the pattern. So I tried it and then my boobs were a little bit more round in that prototype, but the space in between them was not right. At that point, I decided to give up for now because I was very frustrated. So I put the corset aside and I started drafting the skirt. Complete disaster. This was my first prototype. Sad boobs, yeah. This is my second prototype. I grew a boob in the middle. Separated them too much. So I'm gonna go for a third prototype, but for today I'm not gonna work on this because I'm seriously done. I'm gonna focus on the skirt and let's see what happens. At the beginning I didn't know if I wanted a full circle skirt or a half circle skirt. I do like the full circle skirt because then when I dance, woo, it's gonna come like really round. But then I don't know if it's too much fabric because it's gonna be like a lot of it, no? I don't know. And I do want to do like a sexy opening here. Da-na-na. So full circle skirt, 3/4 circle skirt, or half circle skirt. Those are the three options. Because I didn't know if it was going to be too much fabric for the full circle skirt. I wanted more like a slim shape instead of a bulky one. Guys, I'm a civil engineer and I promise you this is more difficult. I decided to go for the half circle skirt in the end, and then when I measured the fabric, ta-da! I guess I'll be doing a half circle skirt. I ended up doing a 3/4 skirt. I didn't have enough fabric to do a half circle skirt, so I had to go for a 3/4 circle skirt. I drafted the pattern 3 times. It was difficult, but because I didn't exactly know what I was doing, I didn't know if I wanted it on the waist or if I wanted it on the hip. I was not sure of what I wanted. I cheated a little bit in the end because I wanted to have a slit on the skirt, but also the pieces I made were too big. So in the end, I made a cut on the back piece because I wanted to put a zipper there, and because I saw that it was too big, the skirt was too big, I decided to just cut the extra fabric that I had and then put a zipper there. That helped a lot, but it created a problem with the slit because instead of being on the side where I wanted it, it was on the side but towards the back. I made a cut in the middle of one of the pieces because I want to have a zipper here, and then it's time to do the slit. Once I finalized the skirt, I went back with my prototype. I bought a new book for the top pattern, and this time it worked. You don't know how happy I was. I was just buzzing. I was not sure if it was gonna work out in the end because in the prototype I didn't add the bonings and I didn't add the boob part properly, but I was very excited. If you remember, I used viscose fabric, so it was a bit wobbly and I had to add interface fabric. After that, it was very sturdy and I was able to cut the pattern properly. Once I had the pieces, I just put them together, everything except for the boob part, and then I attached it to the skirt. The first try was absolutely amazing. I remember I put it on and I couldn't believe I made that. I felt like a total princess. And then I went and I finished the boobs and I attached them. And wow. Moment of truth. I stopped filming in the end because I actually had to finish the dress just before the wedding. I was attaching the stripes, and in the end I made it and I was so pretty and I loved it. It just gave me the motivation that I needed to start these videos and to start sewing again and to just challenge myself a little bit more. It needs a bit of an iron, but this is the final product. And I'll leave you a little montage so you can see how it turned out in the end. I hope you enjoyed this video. I made it with a lot of love. It made me very happy making this video. I hope you can see it. If you want to see more pictures of this dress, you can follow me on Instagram. I posted them 6 months ago when I wore the dress. If you want to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you. Nature plays tricks on me. How can I be proud? I want to get to know you. Spending time with you is the key. Come inside and settle in. I'm gonna give